Hey folks, this is me, your anonymous talker from Platonic Vibes. Reason I call it that is because I was gonna make a band called Platonic Vibes. Really, never really found the members that would quite match that band. Was in other bands. Nobody ever really liked that name or stuck with it. The one time I did get people to stick with that name, we fell apart within like a couple of weeks. Really good band though would have been. However, the reason why I named it that was because I've always had that name in the back of my head. I'm talking about the band. The reason why I named the band that. I had that name in the back of my head, and then, I figured, actually, what am I saying? I was thinking of, what that name meant to me, and really, it's because one day my teacher mentioned the word platonic, and he was going over the explanation of Plato's theory. And Plato's theory is about how pretty much, the specific theory I'm referring to is the eugenics. And that was pretty much referring to how to kind of get to a perfect society. And it was pretty much how to set everything up in classes, and that based on skill level and what we are able to represent as a society, each individual person would represent their skills. And, the highest that they would able to go would be based on the highest amount of skills they were able to display. And so if you, after, you would get like seasonal tests in each class, so you can start off at the lowest class, for example, gardening. And you work as a gardener, and when they test you, if you test that you could, that you were high as a gardener, and then, good as a gardener or whatever, let me rephrase that. If you test the next level, that you can make it into the next level, you make it into the next level. However, if you don't, you stay as a gardener. And that's how that works. So, for example, the next level, would be a teacher. You test into becoming a teacher or whatever, then you're a teacher for so long, and then say the next one you want to be is like a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. So you would test to try to get into being a doctor after you're a teacher for so long. If you don't make it, then you stay as a teacher. So pretty much what would happen eventually is that everybody in society would kind of fall into these organized categories, and there would be the most skilled of each type of level. The gardener who's the gardener, based on his ability to be there, get the work done, get the experience done, and the testing he's taken, and showing that he couldn't really do much else, it shows that he's the best fit for a gardener, and also he'll be the best gardener. So what we'd have is a society with best gardeners, best teachers, best doctors, but everybody, except for a bunch of mediocre people right now who just don't give a shit about their job and fail at all of this for us. I go to the doctor, and they're robots. They don't really care. They punch in, punch out, get their money, go home, and only answer to emergencies, and 2 weeks from now I die from something that they never saw, kind of thing. Wouldn't happen in this kind of theory. Instead, he'd be the best doctor at his job. Do you know what I mean? Like, he would have specialized, lived in it, passionate about it, because he knew that he couldn't do anything else. This was what he was meant to do, based on the fact that he tested through everything else. He wasn't a good gardener, you know what I mean? Like, he was able to go through life and figure out what worked for him, and then he'd be the best at it. And what would eventually happen is that the highest level is a philosopher king. And a philosopher king would be the person who ruled. So now imagine that you went from gardener to philosopher king. You damn sure better know how to rule the country. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially because all the tests proved it. And when he even got to philosopher king test, there was like 5 of them. There wasn't even just one philosopher king. There was about 6 philosopher kings. And you guys all were going for that position. And it's out of the 6 best freaking philosopher kings in the entire nation that they then pick from the 6 to pick the 1. So we really have the best ruler ever. And everybody else is in an efficient system. Society would run so smooth. However, we didn't do that. But this is how you create perfection. A Plato's theory, but the idea of Platonic theory is that there's this idea of perfection. Do you know what I mean? We can never reach it, being that we're very imperfect humans, very flawed, Not a bad thing, just putting that out there. But the idea is that we really can't reach that goal of perfection, but we can think it, therefore it exists, but in a realm in which that we don't live in, obviously, right now. You know what I mean? But so because everybody has that idea in their head, people sometimes come close to it and match it. So they say that they're, platonic ideals. Like, for example, people used to refer that to Kobe Bryant Michael Jordan. He was considered to have a platonic idea of basketball. Bro, he got real close to perfect. Damn sure he made perfect for basketball. You see the point? That's like a lot of the times what they use example for. So I thought, the platonic ideal of love, platonic idea of music and life, and I just started thinking of perfect in a lot of ways and how we could reach it in our hearts, kind of thing, And what I realized is that we can't reach it physically, but we can feel it. Therefore, if we can feel it, we can feel perfection. Then it exists, in a place that our feelings can go to, like spirits or whatever, depending on what you believe. And not trying to freak anybody out if you're atheist, So, yeah. But what that made me think is that, in what ways do we get to feel it? And how do we tap into that? And all kinds of stuff like that. And I realized in so many ways I already did, And in so many ways I tapped into this idea of perfect. And how I got there was through feeling, spiritually. I would, things just came. Things just came easy to me, like gifts and ideas and thoughts and songs and melodies and stuff that I didn't really think of, that I felt. And there's no way I could feel before I think. That's not the way that it works, So it had to have been coming from somebody else besides me. So there is this place of perfect, and we all tap into it. And when we get to these great parts of our life, great parts of our mind and our thoughts and our inventions or whatever it is, it's because we've tapped into this place of perfection. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. And so that's why I call this platonic vibes. This whole thing, is about, I'm just going to say whatever I feel, whatever comes to me. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean, it's happened a lot throughout the years. I used to write books, but I kind of lost all that. Some Mexican landlord lady stole my stuff. Let's just not get into that right now. But anyway, long story short, I don't have any of the stuff that I used to write or any of the things that I used to talk about and study and tap into. They were great stuff, really wise, really helpful, eventful things, and they're lost. I forgot about them. So I'm just hoping that with my life and experience and things that I've, come to that help me grow spiritually, and that I feel like I can feel things stronger. Hope I can tap into some wise and some, helpful and platonic type things for you guys here. But that's the idea of this, and obviously I'm a little nuts, because I talk from my mind, and not from my mind, but I talk from my heart, and I talk from a place. And so you kind of have to, try hard to follow me and realize that I'm traveling, you know what I mean, when I speak. And so I hope you're with me, and, watch if you like it, if you enjoy it, if you're benefiting from it, my heart to your heart. But all I can ask is that you keep an open mind and an open heart, and that you understand that if you don't do that, then either you gain or you don't. I mean, those are the only options. You can watch me to judge me, but really, what do you get out of that? I mean, cool, you came up with some funny comments. I could too. Like, one, I'm wearing this crazy scarf. I don't even know why, but it's because I don't care. And remember I said I say what I feel and do what I feel. So go ahead and judge stuff, and miss the fact that I'm telling you some things that will change your freaking mind and life. Miss that for my crazy scarf. Feel free. But there's no benefit. So it'd be easier for you. And for the purpose of this whole thing, that you just keep your mind open and your heart open and try to take that journey with me. All right. Peace, love, and happiness. Later.